My name is Maverick Pascal, and may Gusta art and mental health.
Hola! Welcome to the very first episode of the May Gusta podcast. I am your host, Jake Reese. With me today, I have artist Maverick Pascal. How are you doing today, Mav?
I'm doing pretty good, man. Like, it's mad sunny outside, which is good. I'm wearing all black. Still good because I got a t-shirt on instead of a sweater.
So February's over, but you're still celebrating Black History Month. Is that what you're telling me?
That's what it is, man. It's Black History Month all year, dog.
Okay. No, so,
and Women's Month, too.
It is.
It's Women's Month all year.
It is.
All right, my bad.
But there's none here, so. Okay. Listen, so the reason I wanted you on this podcast, so the whole reason I started this podcast, man, is because I love hearing people talk about things they're passionate about. I love hearing it feeds my soul hearing people talk about things that feed their soul, that make them happy. And, you know, it's about a year ago now, you had your showcase at Swerve's Gallery. Mm-hmm. And, you know, they did an artist talk with you, and that artist talk that you did really pushed me to do the things that I'm doing now, to push me to start stand up, to really push me to really just do things, just to really do something, you know, just move, just stop being complacent, you know, and just comedy was one of the things that I was being complacent with, you know what I mean? And so hearing you be passionate about your art has pushed me to be passionate about the things about my art. And so I'm really excited to have you on and hear you talk about, you know, what brings you joy and what's, you know, what you like.
I appreciate that, man.
You know, in one of the in part of the artist talk, one of the things you talked about is how everything is art. So if I don't know if you could touch a little bit more on that, what that means to you.
I think, well, first off, I want to say I appreciate that. That's very, I think, like assuring for me, because that's what really the 365 is about. Just pretty much just being. I think is you know, it could be. It's scary for a lot of people to be like your authentic self always, as far as like basically with the art that you put out, and really just, you know, just like that. The show that you went to, like, literally had blood, sweat, and tears, like, you know what I'm saying, like, yeah, on some of those pieces. So it means a lot, man, that like it did that for you, and like you still on that road. So like it's dope to see a different form of, like, you know, basically to see that transmute into something else, as far as like me do, because that's the thing, everybody's like so restricted, but they don't know what it is that like they could do for others. And it's really just like that. Yeah. Like that inner work, you know, sometimes it's like you don't always have to be like, you know, like basically you don't always have to like keep it trapped. And I think like, you know, basically when you know, I think basically like the healing out loud, a lot of people think it's just going around and be like, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm healing out here. Nah, it's not that, man. Like, it's literally just like, if you deep down in the cave and you scream, what it's not going, you know, most likely not too many people going to hear it outside the cave. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? And like some people, they so like, and that's one of the things that like I'm doing it for the past me. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing it for like little me, and that translates to like I realize that there's other people on that journey. So like it's dope. It's very assuring to like know that translated into something else for you. Like it's energy. You know what I mean? So I just want to say I appreciate it. You know what I mean? Like basically like that's thank you.
Oh, just to be clear though, I've had zero success in comedy. Just so you know, you pushed me to do it.
No,
but like it has gone nowhere.
What do you mean it's gone nowhere? Wait,
I'm joking.
I seen
another thing that you said during the artist talk was you said no matter what, like just get to the point where you complete it. Like just do it. It may not be what you wanted it to be like when you complete it, but you got to start somewhere basically.
Word.
And that's kind of like how I've been thinking about it. Like it's a joke. Like I haven't felt very successful in it, but that's not the point. The point is to enjoy the journey. Is to really focus on it and So yeah, I mean, I was joking, but
And I know what you mean. I know what you mean. And I know how comedy is. Like there's definitely some truth in the jokes. You know what I mean? Which
yeah.
makes it funnier.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I think that like when you, I would say the way that like, and especially like with the way you're doing it, it's like each show, like one show at a time,
Mhm.
and then one set at a time, and then
Yeah,
one,
yeah,
and
yeah.
it's like iterations. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like so basically, like as far as like project work, with like big projects, they're broken down in iterations. So it's like you're just going with it, where it's like you're looking at a boom, and then like after a while, like you're not the one. If you're so focused on each iteration, a lot of times you're not the one that's gonna see where the end of that
Yeah,
project is.
for sure.
It's gonna be something else that's gonna tell you.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
hey, like, but it's not necessarily validation from outside. The only validation that matters is the point that, like, hey, I did this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I wanted to do. I'm about to go do this set. Boom, I did this set.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Over and over again, and that's kind of like what I want. But like the art is everything. It's basically just this, like literally, just like I think like that was you like putting that point into action as far as like I'm making visual art, and then my visual art is highly inspired by music, right?
That's what I was gonna ask you next.
And then-
is what? Tell me more about like that. Tell me more about what really inspires you. Because everything is art, but what really pushes you to make your best art? Like what really inspires you to get to that point?
Well, I think like synesthesia, and then like really like having that, because I think everybody could do that. I think everybody, like, so basically synesthesia is when you take in a sense, like when you take in a stimuli, and then like basically it kind of like you see it, like you feel it, or the sense works in a different way for you. Like so basically like some people could like like you ever see where somebody like looked at a light and then it's like, yo, that light's mad loud. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And like,
yeah.
or like basically for me, it's like I could like see sounds when I like hear them. So like basically, Daft Punk Voyager, that was the first. I was seeing Guitar Hero before Guitar Hero was out. That's literally what it looked like to me.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just like so. So I use that, but then also like just how I'm feeling. And my thing is like I never wanted to make. I wasn't too focused on making stuff look cool. You know what I'm saying? Like I was like I didn't want to. If I did that, then like, okay, like you know what I mean. But like basically, I wanted it to be to where it's like I have so much stuff in my head, and like I wanted to get just something out one at a time. And then like whenever I did that, it like I realized that it had some piece to it. You know what I mean? So that's why like I usually had a black background. It's like what's the most simplistic way I could take all of this, and then like
Yeah.
put it down like each time. And it's a journey. It's not. I haven't gotten to the end of it yet. You know what I mean? So
Damn.
that's like that's one of the things to where it's like, and I just keep doing that, and then like
Yeah.
it becomes a collection. You know what I mean? So that's really I would say how I do.
So you did. So you. So just to be clear, you haven't tried to make your art cool,
Not really, no.
and
I
it's
just-
and it still ended up as cool as it is. I mean, your shirt that I love, that the astronaut. Like,
oh, thank
just,
you, man. I appreciate it.
Like I told you before, you need to put that stuff on everything. Like that would sell. Like that is cool.
I appreciate that, man.
And I know there's deeper meaning to it and everything.
Yeah.
But on the surface level, like it's crazy to me that you didn't intend for it to, that's the coolest things, right? Is
I
that
think,
when
yeah.
you didn't and try as hard and it ends up being, really great.
Yeah, that's literally how. I think it was. Man, like a lot of the successful businesses, I can't think of like any examples at the top of my head, but like one of the things that I look at is like some of the things that we see, like just kind of like on a big scale, to where
Yeah.
we see things that was supposed to be one thing, and then it is successful at something else.
Yeah.
Right, like like I would say, okay, so like let's say Taco Bell, for example, right? What is like basically what sells the most into like what makes the most profit in all of Taco Bell?
I don't. Is it Baja Blast?
Yo, you actually it's soda. It's the soda. It's
I
not
just
even
talked
like
about this on a different podcast. Did you know that the whole reason Pepsi bought Taco Bell, KFC, and Pizza Hut was because they couldn't compete. We're getting off topic. This is interesting to me. They couldn't compete with Coke. So they found out it was cheaper just to buy their own fast food restaurants and put their sodas in there.
But you see what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. So
and,
it's like,
and now we have Baja Blast. And
Yeah.
the world is a better place.
so I think that's kind of where you're like, I think that's one of the things sometimes too in the creative act. It's like you want to get to the end point, right? Like you have an end point that you want. But the thing is, it's just like, okay, I want this. But then like the journey is going to be different.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, like, of course, like you there's a lot of strategic thinking to be like, okay, we're a drink company.
So
Right. But like basically like now somebody had to be like, yo, how about we buy these restaurants? Like,
Yeah.
not a lot of people would do
Yeah.
that. You know what I'm saying?
So for you, what is that? Like, what is not necessarily your end goal, but like what, what is something you want to accomplish with this art? Like, what is, I guess, the strategic plan, or do you not that you have to have one, but like what would that be that for you right now, as far as your art's concerned?
I think like, well, mainly I just like I want to leave like knowing that like one of the things that I want to do is like have like ways to put like if we're talking about like maybe something, I'd say if it's brick and mortar, I do want to create a lot more safe spaces where art and mental health is fused. So like basically like, anything from, more galleries to actual like centers and neighborhoods to where like, you do have, because it's only so many places where you have kids meditating. You know what I mean? And, expressing themselves in different ways. And I know that art isn't, it's not necessarily, I know some people see it as like, oh, it's a hobby. When you say hobby, you putting it aside and you always like doing something different. And I want, like, it's part of life. Like, it's literally part of life. And it's something that like, people do is like, okay, well, if it's something that just like, hey, this makes me feel better, like, it's kind of like, but it makes me, it's a necessary part of my day, or it's a necessary part of like
who you
the
are.
week. Yeah, exactly. And I want more people to like feel like that like I want, and I want to be, I'm not saying that it's just me. It's just that I'm in a quote unquote, I don't know, zip code or area where, I'm a spokesman for that. And I know that there's a bunch of other people doing it, which is awesome, because that's what I would have wanted as a kid. You know what I mean? So one of the things that I want to do is like, if I leave here and like, I want to see people be more successful than me. Like, I want that. You know what I mean? Like, I want to know that like, hey, like this person, like, like I caught them on their journey. They caught me on their journey. And it's like, for me, like, that's how I die happy. It's like knowing that like I help somebody because like, you know what I mean? Because people help me. So
for sure,
people help me all the time. You know what I mean? So like, so I want to be able to like pass that on and, and like do it in ways to where it's like, I think even like your manifestation to where it's like, it just shows how important art is.
For sure.
You know what I mean? So I think that's really what it is in a nutshell. And there's a different objectives in there. Like, certain centers basically making more money to create more cool stuff.
Yeah.
But other than that, like the main thing is really just being like, like being on my deathbed, like just knowing that like, hey, like I help people.
You reach
that
people.
had nothing to do with me.
Absolutely.
Like, and it's like, because basically like, and I reached, little black kids like me.
Absolutely.
And that's really what it is.
Well, I think you're already on your way to that. Like you reached me, and I don't think we talked about it, or I told you, but my daughter was at that showcase, and art is something that's a big part of her life, and it's not something that I think has really been encouraged in her school. You know what I mean? Or really, like you said, it's a hobby. I think in some places, but her getting to see that showcase, that art gallery, and seeing, the possibilities of something she could do with art, I think that was very impactful to her.
That's awesome, man. And that's what it is, possibilities.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? I want somebody to see like, hey, like, dang, like if he could do this, like, yo, I could do that thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's kind of what, like, not even like me doing something, like, nah, I want to see you go do something bigger.
Absolutely.
You feel what I'm saying? And like, that's, it just, I don't know, man, it just brings a lot of peace. Like, my bad. Go ahead.
So no, let's I want to talk about the mental health part of that. So that's the second thing. The second topic, is the mental health aspect. But you touched on a little bit with when it comes to art, and I guess those two things, especially for you, are kind of linked together very well. So talk to me more about that. Like, what has that journey been like for you?
Man, it's been. I'm not gonna say it's been a long journey. I mean, it has. If I talk about it like how I used to talk about it, but it's necessary.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And it's like with so many changes just going on to like, as far as like I think, just like in the world and our societies and stuff like that. I think that we should see like our state with ourselves and then like our relationship to society and the world. I think that should be something that like it's maintenance, like brushing our teeth or taking showers.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So that's really how I had to like, it wasn't about like, oh, this happened to me and now I got to go like heal from it. It's really like I had to accept that this is something that, hey, this happened to me and I have to, however long it's going to take, like, you know what I mean? Like, and not saying like, it's certain things that you're not thinking about the end about.
Mental health is health. Like it's an everyday thing.
Literally.
It's not something that you're ever going to stop working on.
Exactly.
Like,
exactly.
Like you wouldn't, like you said, you wouldn't stop brushing your teeth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, and I think that's how, that's not how a lot of people view it.
They don't. They look at it like, oh, I'm going to go heal from this thing.
Yeah.
And then like, and it's just like, bro,
I got
like,
out of that bad relationship and I'm going to heal from it.
Exactly.
But,
and it's like,
there's so many things in our life that really affect who we are as people, and it's not always good. And even the things that are good, that's part of our mental health.
Yeah.
If we don't focus on it, if we don't see it, you know, one of the things that my therapist tells me is that I have empathy for everyone else but myself.
Yeah.
That I give so much to everybody else.
Yeah.
I can be empathetic to everybody in my life, no matter what they do, but I can't forgive myself for things, and that's something that I don't know that's ever gonna go away from me. I mean that I'm gonna have to work at. Yeah. Always, I'm gonna always have to remember that empathy is a part of life and that I can have it for everybody, including myself.
I think that's one thing that I was thinking about. It's not like a lot. Everybody, it's an infinite game. Everybody always thinks about like basically just such a finite thing. It was like, okay, well, I'm gonna be this, and it's like no, like anybody, like it's kind of like a like it. I don't know. It's like, and even if like let's say we wanted to get to the point that we wanted to get to, which was like ultimate success in like all aspects, and then you get there, and you're still alive, you'd be bored as hell. You know what I'm saying? Like you know what I mean? Like you get there, and it's just like it's done. So it's just I think it's paths, like on the path to. You know what I mean?
So
and being
so what you're saying is trauma makes life exciting?
High key. Listen. I guess so.
Listen, you got it.
You know what I'm saying? But it's just how you handle it. It's
if you play the game on easy mode, it's not as fulfilling.
Yes, right. You know what I'm saying?
But I'm not playing on the hardest setting possible.
You ain't got to say it like that.
Otherwise, you didn't really win. That's basically what you're saying, right?
That's funny as hell. But listen, what I'm saying though is like I think it's just like something happens to us. It's an event, and it's like what path are you taking? You know what I'm saying? Like it's like boom, like this happens, and it's like what path are you taking? Like what path are you gonna take? You know what I mean? And I think that it's not necessarily like, oh, it's time for me to get here and then and it's like, oh, I'm finally healed. First off, you don't like a lot of times you don't even know when unless it's like actually like physical, you don't even know if you're like healed from things until that thing like comes back. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like that's the only time like you really know, like dang, like yo, like I heal from this a lot, and it's like what is. You know what I mean? So at the same time, it's not necessarily saying like there is, and it's okay because we're like so taught to like see the end of things, right? And like that's the thing about it is just like, I just like one thing that I think that like I had told myself was like, or one thing that like I remember like journaling about this was like coming to not necessarily terms. But then, like, changing the mindset to where I'm okay with not seeing, like, basically, like, if I die, I have to be okay with not seeing whatever it is that I'm building. Whatever it is that I'm like, I'm okay, like, building something and then, like, it becoming whatever it needs to be after I die. I have to be okay with that. Yeah. Like, and I think that if you sit there and it's you rushing, and it's just like, like, nah. Like, if you are on, like, the only, like, if you're, it's, like, your truth that, like, yo, like, I'm fucking, like, building this, And my bad, I don't know if I could cuss
No,
on here.
no.
But I was just like, I'm building this thing, and even if whatever perceived level or whatever the hell, I was on my way to this thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I don't know what's after that, but like, just basically like the laws of karma and everything else, like, whether I start over or I continue, it would be better than me not knowing what the hell
Yeah.
to do when I get on the other side.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah. And that's a hard truth to accept.
it is, but I think it's a hard truth to come to. I think it was harder for me to I think it was harder for me to come to rather than accept. It's like, oh, wait, is this, because everybody talks about like posthumous and all this other stuff, whatever. But it's like, man, like, at the end of the day, it's like, for one, it kind of doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like, people gon', basically, like, look at everybody in Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Right? Look at all the sports and stuff that was out there before. And, like, I don't remember them people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't, like, we don't, we out here, like, being old, learning about, like, cool stuff in history. It's like, oh, that's dope. And then it's like, you know what I'm saying? And it's kind of like we just these little-ass people on this, like, big-ass rock
Floating.
in this big-ass solar system, in this big-ass galaxy. You know what I'm saying? So we might as well be the best particle we could be, and that's it.
You got to find, what's gonna matter, what's gonna fulfill.
Yeah, and that's it. It's like, what are you doing? Like, it's like so much about like the now, even the shit in the past.
Yeah.
That we think about. That's now. That makes up for now, and the path that we're on to the future. That's now. It's all now.
So what are some things that you do every day that really help you focus on those things, that really help you get to a place that is good?
I meditate and I journal, and then I try to read like 10 pages or something.
Well, is there anything you're reading right now?
Yeah, Creative Act by Rick Rubin.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty good. He put together like a lot of it wasn't like a biography or nothing. Like, he didn't want to do nothing. Like, he just kind of wanted to, just put his philosophies into it. It wasn't anything like too new, but every once in a while it has like good reminders of like, so it's that like, creative productivity and like basically where to apply it, things like that.
Yeah. Okay. And the meditating part, tell me more about that, because that's something that I think I would benefit from, but I've tried it before, and like, so the first therapist I ever saw, like after the session, was like, download this meditating app, this is what I want you to do. Like, that was all the feedback I got, was just go to this med app and go meditate. And I did not enjoy it.
What if I told you there's no such thing as a successful meditation?
That would bother me.
Do you want biceps, and you want like you want like, if you want your biceps to get bigger, right? And you go to the gym, right? And your like, where you gonna start at? Do you know what I'm saying? And like, you want to get to like, if you want, it's like, yo, I bet you got all the time in the world, and you got to get to a point to where you curling 60 pounds, right? And then like, and you can't curl 60 pounds right now, so where you gonna go? Gonna go to like, I don't know, something lower, right? Like 20, 25, you know what I'm saying? Curl that, and then just curl it until, okay, cool, like I get to the next level. And I think too, like, there's that, but it's one of those things to where it's like, meditation is something where you gotta give grace to yourself. You know what I'm saying? I think, what's it called? I think it's what? Genuine intention and genuine curiosity. Like, and then the fact that like, and then the intention part is like, yo, like, I got ADHD, bro. And like, I think it was, for me, it was just like all this other stuff out there. But one of the things, all these other things that I can't control, but what can I control? I can control making 10 minutes for myself to where I put myself in a specific place in the house. Yeah. And I literally put on the timer with the guided meditation. Even if I don't follow the guided meditation all the way through, I just chose to do this for 10 minutes, 12 minutes, basically with nobody else telling me that I had to do that. That starting my day like that, it makes you realize, it puts your like the like your reticular activation into like, you see what you have control of. You know what I'm saying?
Puts you into focus.
Yeah, it puts you into focus, but not necessarily like, that type, like, the focus that ADHD people need. But you know what I'm saying? But the focus of just like, okay, like, this happened to me, and this happened to me, and these are ways that I can respond instead of reacting.
Okay. Yeah.
So like that's it's not, there's no such thing as like a like a perfect meditation. No, it's like literally your relationship with what it is that you're doing. And it's like, if you choose to sit somewhere for 10, that's it. Sit somewhere for 10 minutes and breathe. And like do it with guided meditation. And then now it's like you got help, but you have to know when you leave, it's like there's going to be a point eventually. You know, so when I first started meditating, other people was telling me that like I was different. Not me. I didn't like, I was just, basically somebody was like, yo, do this for 30 days. Right. And I was like, okay, bet. Like, I'll do it for 30 days. Right. And then basically I started doing it. And then, I don't know, I think it was like, 2 weeks in, 3 weeks in or something like that. I was at work. And then like, I came into work and I talked to my manager. And then like, you know, and then I think I talked to like somebody else and my manager was like, yo, you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I'm good. Why? And he was like, man, you just like mad, like calm and intentional. You know what I'm saying? Like you just mad. Like you'd usually be like, you know, basically like you'd forget something and come back over here, this and this, whatever. Yeah. It was other people telling me that like they were seeing like, you know what I mean? Like seeing the change and like seeing like, you know, to where it's like I wasn't attached to like certain things that like didn't matter, or I wasn't like, you know what I mean? So it was
just tying back in kind of what we've been talking about is just that growth, like, you know, like with like me with the comedy and you with your art, like people are gonna see it before you see it. Yeah. So people are gonna see your mental health getting better before you see your mental health getting better.
Yeah. You have to see it, like you got to put it against things, and it's like, you have that it's weird, like you have that relationship with yourself in your mind, like the enemy's in your mind, but like it doesn't come to like fruition until like something else comes, and then like you see how you react to that thing, and then when you see how you react to that thing, it's not something that's like a, you know, it's not something that's like a finite thing, it's just something that's like a progressive thing, and you're like, okay, well, like like you have to give gratitude for that. You know what I'm saying? When you give gratitude for that, you see something else to give gratitude for. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? And shit could be bad, but it's like, yo, like shit could be terrible. And it's like, if I see like, and it's not necessarily like, it's not toxic positivity, because it's not like I'm like sitting here like, yo, everything good, fam. You know what I'm saying? It's not like that. It's just like, you know, if my day is like bad and it's like, but like I got home, it's like, yo, today was bad, but I'm grateful. Like I hate saying grateful. I have gratitude for being home. You know what I mean? Like I have gratitude for being back home, and like, you know, or like I could complain in a car on my way home. You know what I'm saying? Like I have gratitude to be fighting my ego right now. I have gratitude to be, you know what I'm saying? Like just finding stuff to like, and then when you start to do that, you know shit crazy. Yeah. But you know, you not. Yeah. You know what I mean? So
no. So we're gonna wrap up, but one thing I did want to talk about is K Tornada.
Oh, but that's my man's.
That is your man's, and I was thinking about it today, and I think I've offended you before about my.
He a Virgo too.
I know you don't like. Virgo.
I know you don't like astrologicals.
You're right. I think that means nothing, but
yeah, but that's why you're talking like that. That's exactly. You just proved the point.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Listen. What I wanted to say about K Tornada, okay, is I was thinking about it, right? And you know, like for me, like that his genre of that music, like for me, it's not that I don't like it, right? It's not that I don't like him. For me, I just don't like it's missing something. Does that make sense? And so, like, there's music and lyrics. The music part is there, and it's good. For me to enjoy it fully, I need the lyrics part.
Wait. Yeah, no. Okay, I know what you're saying.
So when I say like, when I've talked about K Tornada, or you know, when we've had the, you know, it wasn't so much, and it just ties back into what we were talking about. I think is that, you know, that everything is art, you know, and for me, like that K Tornada is good. But for me, it's not the end.
I see what
you know what I mean? Like the songs that I really like of K Tornada's are the ones where he's got someone talking on it.
Okay, so you heard those. I'm glad.
That's what I'm
You
trying
like
to
Chance
get.
the Rapper?
I do.
You like All Night?
That's what I'm telling
You
you.
know he produced that?
Yes, that's what I'm trying to tell
So you
you.
like
is I
K Tronada?
I do like K. That's the whole. That's what I'm trying to tell you right now.
Okay.
I do like K Tronada. Just not just K Tronada.
But you know what you should do?
Yeah.
You should rap over the ones that he got just beats on.
Oh, that is not a good
You
idea.
probably like it. You should try it out, man.
No,
Let me know.
no.
I mean, I don't do that because it's so beautiful. But you know what I'm saying? Like, if you want to, you could try that. But that's what's up, man. I'm glad. I don't know. I mean, like K Tronada, if you happen to watch this one day, we cleared this up.
We did. We
Okay.
did. We're all on board the K Tronada train.
Word.
But no, I really appreciate you coming in, man, and
sure,
doing
man.
this.
This was dope.
It really did mean a lot.
Yeah.
That you took the time to do this.
Nah, man. I appreciate
You know,
being your first episode, man. That means a lot.
No, I there wouldn't be a first episode without you.
Damn.
For real.
That's heavy.
It is heavy.
Damn, I
But
appreciate that.
you're a part of my journey.
Dang.
You know, I mean, and so I really appreciate you being you, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Dang.
Well, thank y'all for listening. Really appreciate it.
Thank y'all.